That's what Du Bois is concerned about here. And what does he say about Josie? Over and over again, she longed to learn, right? She longed to learn. She wanted to overcome her ignorance. She was always concerned about the school, longed to go away to school. You see the connection between the paideia that we talked about the first week, the ways in which paideia is manifest in the heart, mind, and soul of this precious and priceless little black girl in Jim Crow, Tennessee. And at the core of it is, like any other human being, need for tender love and care, the need to be recognized, the need to be affirmed, and then her quest for freedom. But the quest for freedom and the quest for literacy and education and paideia go hand in hand. And this is another reason why education is not some kind of game that people are playing just in order to gain access to some upward social mobility. It's more than that. It's a life and death affair. You see? And what's at stake? The quality of the kind of human being you're going to be. You see? This is Du Boisian concerned about the kingdom of culture, you see. All the struggle of gaining the school. First came Josie and her brother. This is in the paragraph. It was a hot morning late in July. Now, which page would that be in your text? It was a hot morning late in July when the school opened. 407. I troubled when I heard the patter of little feet down the dusty road and saw the growing row of dark, solemn faces and bright, eager eyes facing me. First came Josie and her brothers and sisters. The longing to know. To be a student in the great school at Nashville hovered like a star above this child woman amid her work and worry. And what does he say she did? Now, this is something that maybe all the undergrads at Dartmouth ought to read in unison. She studied doggedly. What does doggedly mean? Somebody tell me. What does it mean to study dog? It's just a description of your lives, right? Is that right? That's what you all do. You study doggedly. Tonight you're going to study doggedly. Tomorrow night, I'll hold off on Friday. But tomorrow night, the night after that, you will study doggedly. There is no paideia without yearning for freedom, learning, studying doggedly. But studying doggedly is not just reading your text. Is it? No. It's critical reflection on that text. It allows you to get distance and think for yourself so you find your voice over against the voice in that text. It's not just memorizing the text, especially for the student so you can get some good grade. No, it's allowing it to marinate in your own heart, mind, and soul and body so you can begin to question yourself just as you question that text. Just as Joan of Arc questioned what was going on and was ready to go to the siege of Orleans, giving her support of Charles VII as a freedom fighter. You see, Josie, freedom fighter. It's not Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, all the well-known textbook figures. This is our dear sister Josie, like any other human being, in this case, under Jim Crow apartheid situations. There they sat, nearly 30 of them on the rough benches, their faces shading from a pale cream to a deep brown, the little feet bare and swinging, the eyes full of expectation. Oh, I love to be in classes like that. We had that today and this morning and last night. You walk in, eyes of expectation, anticipation. How am I going to learn how to die today? Oh, Brother West, thank you for allowing me to learn how to die better, to scrutinize better, interrogate better, criticize better, so that I can live better, more courageously, more critically, more visionary, more love, more courage, and so forth. See, that process of paideia that we talked about. We have to be very clear that in Du Bois's prose, there's a certain intensity. And he talks about it primarily in relation to Josie. And we know Josie is this black Joan of Arc under apartheid U.S. conditions in which she, more than anything else, not just longs to learn, but what does she say over and over again too? Oh, maybe it's painful. Is it a painful process too? Yes, it is. If you're undergoing paideia, it's not painful. Nobody has not some way unsettled you and unhoused you. You haven't gone through proper paideia. If all you got is just the affirmation of your own prejudices, you haven't undergone paideia. That's what Josie was after too. And this is very important. This is especially for poor students of any color, working class students of any color, any students who have in some sense been marginalized and your quest for education has met impediments. And there might be some students, for example, who have had very few impediments. That's fine. They're human beings like anybody else. But for students whose burning and yearning to be educated is enacted under these conditions, you see, that ought to say something to us. Ought to say much to us. But that sense of education being of existential value, not just financial, not just social, not just something to wear on your sleeve, not just an ornament or a decorative thing, but something that has been shot through your whole heart, mind, and soul. And look at this. I have called my tiny community a world, and so its isolation made it. You all with me on that page? 410, thank you so much. And yet there was among us but a half-awakened common consciousness sprung from common joy and grief. Now, keep track of that word joy. It didn't say pleasure. What's the difference between joy and pleasure? Oh, you can write a dissertation on that one. American culture these days, so much a joyless quest for pleasure. Joy is something deeper.